So ESPN has their new mock draft for the WNBA, and I think they had, oh, that was last year's mock draft, but they had at the start of, well, in April, obviously the mock draft is a little bit different, but this year, this by Michael Vopel, I don't know, this is the current mock draft. So let's take a read. Caitlin Clark was the wire-to-wire top pick. Yep. Paige Bueckers might be in the same position. I don't know, just because of the injury issues. Like, there will always be like, she's missed 2 seasons of her college career. Like, there's going to always be like, that question mark. So, like, say if Kiki Iriafen balls out and there's even, like, a slight, like, oh, she might be as good as Paige. Or if somebody's balls out this season, there might be even a slight thought that maybe they're better than Paige. The injury issue will come into effect. But for ESPN's initial mock draft, the order of picks had not been established. The lottery teams in order for number 1 picks are Sparks, Dallas Wings, Chicago Sky, and Mystics. Until draft lottery is held in December, no set official order. So, yeah, and also Sky get number 1, it goes to Dallas. That Breanna Mabrey trade might go down as the worst. The Sky made 2 of the worst trades I've ever seen. The trade to get Mabrey and the trade to get rid of Mabrey. 2 of the worst trades ever. Like, they basically gave up, like, considering what they got from Breanna Mabrey, they gave up, like, Leni Fibic, multiple firsts, and multiple pick swaps for, I think they might have given up more for Mariah Jefferson, Rachel Bannum, and a first-round pick. Like, that's mad. For now, we slot Golden State at number 5, just after the lottery picks. That is more than likely what's going to happen. Lastly, or they might just put Golden State into the lottery. Lastly, we will list 12 first-round picks since the WNBA stripped the Aces after the Hamby situation. Okay, so Bueckers is a redshirt senior. Apparently, should she return, if Paige Bueckers returns to college and graduates 6 years after going into college, that would be ridiculous. She wrote last media day. There is no way Paige Bueckers comes back. So, number 1 pick, Paige Bueckers. Bueckers returned a long, strong season after missing 22-23 with a knee injury. She averaged 21.8, 5.3, and 4 assists, leading Huskies to the Final Four. Her 3 seasons at UConn, she shot 53%, 41% from beyond the arc. She's comfortable in either guard spot and a good defender as well. She was guarding 4s last year. But the thing with Paige is that I want to see more high school Paige. I really do. If Paige Bueckers ends up coming out, I really do want to see more high school Paige. If you guys know anything about high school Paige, like, she had flair. She had, like, Caitlin Clark level, like, freedom and flair and a lot of this stuff that we don't really see out of these players. I would love to see her. I want her to go to LA because she'll be given that freedom at the 1. She'll be given the freedom to play the 1, the 2, to make her decisions. Like, she could be really, really good. And it's been coached out of her a little bit by Gino, but I really do hope that we see Paige Bueckers being Paige Bueckers again. Dallas Wings, Kiki Iriafen. She was named Most Improved Player in the Pac-12 after averaging 19.4 points and 5.8 rebounds as a junior at Stanford. She transferred to her hometown of LA to play at USC this season. She's just 2 of 7 from beyond the arc in college, so something she can definitely add to her game. After reaching the WNBA semifinals last year, Dallas won just 9 games at the WNBA's worst defensive rating, so the Wings have a lot to figure out. I think what's probably going to happen is Natasha Howard's going to go, and it's very, very, very unlikely. Is it yeah. Dallas can't drop below 3. So, it's very unlikely they don't end up with Kiki Iriafen. Like, I don't think the Atlanta Dream, unless they want to get rid of... Say Atlanta Dream don't pick. I don't think the Mystics draft Kiki Iriafen. Because the Mystics at Kiki Iriafen's position, like 4 or 5, already have... they've already got, like, Aaliyah Edwards, Shakira Austin, Sika Kone, potentially Elena Deladon if she comes back and probably has to move to 4 a little bit, but, like, Steph Dolson, they already have too many players in those positions. Kiki Iriafen is a freak athlete. The Dallas Wings, especially with Natasha Howard leaving, is the best spot for her, and touch wood, no injuries, and she plays as well as she should, but I would say almost certainly there. The Chicago Sky and Nisa Morrow. Now, this is one of those picks where it's like, don't do it. where like every single person coming into this draft is going to be like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Like, Anissa Morrow's from Chicago, and she could be headed back there. The former LSU teammate Angel Reese was a successful rookie. Morrow played for DePaul in her hometown for her first 2 college seasons. Transferred to LSU, a wing who's strong on the boards. Like, she shoots 24% from 3. She can't shoot. She's a decent turnaround mid-range. She's an athletic guard. She gets boards, but like, athletic wing, she gets boards. She's not the fit. I like Anissa Morrow. I don't even think she's the fit in Washington. Like, I don't see the only team I'm trying to think where I'm like that she might be a fit, just but purely basketball wise, depending on how free agency goes. I think she could be a fit in Indiana, but like she's coming off the bench for Chicago. Like at this point, like she's not gonna be better than Michaela, come in better than Michaela Onyeabor. She's just not, and the team, like. Every player for the Chicago Sky to be in any way successful, because Kennedy Carter can't really shoot. Angel Reese can't shoot. Camila Cardoso can't shoot. None of them are going to be shooters, other than maybe Kennedy Carter coming into next season. But you have to surround them with 5 other players that can shoot. Like, you need your 2. You can't start with Lindsay Allen again. You need a point guard that can shoot. You need a 3 that can shoot. Like, I would take AZ Fudd. If AZ Fudd is healthy, I'd take AZ Fudd here. I would also 100% take. So I would probably look at Sonia Citron there. But the Washington Mystics, AZ Fudd, averaging 13.1 points. But like again, AZ Fudd came in as one of the best players in high school. Like she has barely played, but it just depends on can she play. I think 4. Let's say maybe taking her 3, but like 4, it kind of is crazy, but fair enough. If Olivia Miles falls to the Valkyries, like the Mystics need a point guard. The Mystics are not passing up on Olivia Miles to spend another season running Julie Van Loo. They're just not going to do it. But the thing is, when it comes to Olivia Miles, is that again, she tore her ACL. She missed a season, but she's an all-around do-it-all point guard. I don't think she's going to come back to college for another year, but I cannot see her. If she's healthy and the Sky pass on her, unless someone else mad comes up, that would be a shock. So, Sellers to the Mystics. Sellers a do-it-all kind of player. You know what? Like, fair enough. Like, if you're not going to take Olivia Miles there, take a point guard at 6. I don't hate it, but I also think that AZ Fudd will be there at 6 as well, unless Golden State just want to take her for, like, the Instagram clout. But you've got Dominique Malonga. I forgot about Malonga. Do not let Malonga drop to 7. Dominique Malonga has got the highest upside in his draft of anyone not named Paige Bueckers. She might even have the highest upside, including Paige Bueckers. She looked decent at the Olympics at 18. She's 18 years old. She wouldn't be allowed to go to WNBA for 3 more years if she went to college. She's playing pro in France. She's doing well. She's playing well for the French. She played well for the French Olympic team. Obviously, didn't play crazy minutes because she's 18 years old. Dominique Malonga is 6 foot tall, 6'6" tall. Probably got a longer wingspan than Breanna Steward. Dunks with ease. Moves fluidly. Runs fast. Like, if you give her to the Liberty, and even if they don't bring her over and leave her in France for a year, okay, yeah, Jonquel Jones, maybe she's kind of finishing up her career. Oh yeah, let's just bring in Dominique Malonga to play 1 or 2 years back up to Jonquel and then play Jonquel on a freaking team with Leni Fibic on a rookie contract, Sabrina Ionescu, Breanna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, Benijah Laney, and now suddenly you have a player who could legitimately be the best center in the WNBA by the end of her rookie contract. And by the end, if she comes by the end of her rookie contract, she's still going to be younger than some people that were just drafted. Like, by the end of her rookie contract, there is a legit possibility that she is younger than people that will be in the draft. Do not let her fall there. Indiana, trade up 1 to take Dominique Malonga. She's going to be a much better Temi Fleck-Bentley. Again, there might not be that many high-quality posts for the first round, so a player like Barker could be in more demand. I mean, I would go for a free agent at the 4. You have Dantas under contract as your bench. I'd take Sonia Citron here. Like, you need a wing off the bench. You don't need another power forward. You have too many of them. You need a competent wing off the bench and a competent backup point guard, but I think they're available in free agency. I'd take Sonia Citron. I think you'd be crazy if Sonia Citron's available at 8 and you pass on her. Rory Harmon to the Seattle Storm. Harmon played 12 games last year, suffered a season-ending injury. But again, she's good. She's just a 5'6" point guard. Like, you just drafted Nika Mule. You literally just drafted Nika Mule as to be your, like, quote-unquote future point guard. And you've kept her. So I just don't understand this one. Like, I don't understand drafting Nika Mule if you're going to go and take another point guard in the first round. Like, I get it, you're cool for defensive wings, but, like, bench depth is non-existent. Mercedes, you're not going to be keeping Mercedes Russell. I would look at centers. And even maybe overshoot on a center. This guy taking Tahina Paupau. I like Tahina Paupau. She would have been a first round pick last year. She probably would have went higher than 10. Like, there's no way that she would have went lower than 10. But she is a knockdown shooter, a pretty good defender, and probably comes in as their starting point guard. I like Tahina Paupau. I just can't believe that they passed on Citron twice. But also, there's no point guards in free agency. Don't give the Lynx Sonia Citron. Don't let the Lynx take her. She's going to play. Like, Diamond Miller has not played. Doesn't play much. You've got a 6'1" tall shooter. Like, you've got a 6'1" shooter. Don't give them Sonia Citron. Don't give them another Bridget Carlton for when they inevitably can't pay Bridget Carlton. Don't let them spawn another Bridget Carlton. The Phoenix Mercury, Georgia Moore. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Again, for the 12th pick, especially for a team that needs a backup point guard, I don't hate it. There are a few players. What's her name? The Slovenian. I don't like the Fever's pick. I don't like Janiyah Barker for the Fever. I don't think they need that position. I think you gotta go for you gotta just go for shooting. You gotta add shooting. Because that's what you need around Caitlin Clark is shooting. I don't hate that one. Don't hate it, but I don't love it. I really, really dislike Anissa Morrow to Chicago as a fit. Realistically, if this is the way the draft is, I think more than likely we see her fall to 5. I think she might be like the cornerstone of the Valkyries, because you can build a kind of roster around Anissa Morrow, but she's such a bad shooter that it's hard. And also players that I would consider taking, I would consider taking Raven Johnson somewhere, but we've seen with Phoenix Mercury, like, some of the downsides of, as good as Celeste Taylor is, of her shooting. So yeah, that is the draft. Just fit wise, the Anissa Morrow to Chicago one I don't think makes sense. Otherwise, yeah, it is what it is.